Hello everybody, it's your boy Russ again, coming for the second part of the video I posted yesterday, and we're still talking drugs and family. Now, just to recap, I think it's important that we try to define drug addiction as a disease. Why is it important for us to frame it in this way? It will assist us in trying to get help, in trying to understand it a little bit better, and trying to come up with interventions that are meaningful. Now, like any other disease, drug addiction affects the body. There's been years of research that speak of how once people are drug addicted, the brain chemistry changes, the brain form changes, the body starts reacting in different ways. Drug addiction, like any other disease, can be treated in various ways, right? One, using some form of medication, natural remedies, just being in nature, being with family, being loved, and all these things and all these ideas around healing can also be used towards trying to deal with drug addiction. As we're talking drug addiction and family, I'm going to say something that's quite controversial. I think it's controversial, it might not be. But drug addiction can be more dangerous for the family members than it is for the addict themselves. Why do I say this? It's because in the worst moments of drug addiction, this is when an addict has just relapsed, they're in an overdose, they're high or whatnot. They're in a position where they are completely numb to what's happening around them, how they're behaving, and how that behavior is affecting other people. Whereas the family members are completely sober and get to experience and see what the person who's an addict is going through. This leaves them, one, scared for the addict's life because they don't know what's happening. You find the addict is high, is speaking slow, they're having shivers, or they're having withdrawal symptoms. The family members don't know what to do because they're not health professionals. They don't understand what's happening to their family member who's in this position that's just extremely scary. At other times, family members have to deal with the addicted family member who becomes a person they're afraid of. They don't know whether this person is going to kill them, whether this person is going to harm themselves. So there's a constant state of fear about what's going to happen next because this person is not stable. Family members go through the most, and I believe that addiction affects them in ways that nobody really speaks about. Drug addiction can leave the family feeling ashamed, feeling afraid, and not knowing what to do. This shame comes from the idea that how can we, as a family that's good, that has good morals, have somebody in the family that's an addict? This leaves people feeling depressed, holding in emotions, not knowing how to act, scared of going out because they're scared. What's the world gonna say? What's the world gonna say about my parenting skills? What's the world going to say about my siblings? Is the world going to judge me? And then a whole lot of emotions just engulf the family unit and leaves them feeling helpless. This is what addiction does to the family. One of the biggest mistakes I believe families make is that they try to pretend like the issue's not happening, or not necessarily pretend like the issue's not happening, but try to be silent about it, try to be very anonymous about it, feeling that being vulnerable is a form of weakness and not talking to anybody. But all that this does is create resentment for the addict, is it creates a battle within people. People become more sick, people become more stressed out, and people's quality of life decreases. So I'm suggesting an alternative to how families can and should be dealing with addiction. Firstly, I believe that we need to come out. We need to come out as families. We need to come out as families of people who are addicted and not be afraid to say that we have this thing in our family. We have a disease. Just like anybody who has a family member who has cancer or is experiencing some sort of illness, they're not afraid to speak out about it, as this does two things. One, it becomes cathartic for family members who have held certain emotions within themselves to be able to express it. I'm not saying go onto social media or go shout out on the top of the roof about what's happening in your family, but being able to be open either at therapy sessions, friends, religious and spiritual leaders. By doing this, it becomes cathartic. You're able to release all those pent up emotions and anxieties and depressions that you have because of the depression. Secondly, what being open about the addiction in the family does is it opens avenues for assistance and help that can come your way that you would have never had access to. There are many programs out there, there are many methods and alternatives of trying to help addicts try conquer the addiction and restore their life and move back into a place where they feel that they have control over their life. So being open about the addiction can assist in providing avenues and ways in assisting them. The addiction. I just want to say, remember that you're not alone. What you and your family are facing, there are other people out there who are facing it. And secondly, remember that you don't have to struggle on your own. You don't have to struggle in the dark on your own. You can go out, seek therapy, speak to your spiritual leaders, find NGOs that help and deal with people that are facing drug addiction. Remember that things that lurk in the dark are more likely to grow, eat you up, causing you mental health issues, physical health issues, spiritual issues, and a whole lot of other issues. And finally, I hope that you and your family find healing, and that in everything that you do it with love, and hopefully the problem that you're facing as a family comes to an end. Love you guys.